with 350 days to go or some shit, we've already got dates and a location for the second annual Astronomicon. Where the fuck are we partying next year? DCGCon's entire lineup gets announced with a couple little suggestive lies put in there by Mr. KG. We gonna look at it, we gonna talk about it, and we gonna downgrade that motherfucker. Gmo got a new video out. 8-Bit Filth is coming. And if there's time, I got leftovers from yesterday. You know what it is, and you know what it's about to do. The Beard speaks now.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
What up, heads? You know what it is. You know what it does. My name is CHUCKY. I am the Beast host, and you are here for that 11:30 p.m. Eastern interweb experiment known only as the Beard Speaks. What is it, episode 119? Something like that? Let me check. Episode 119. Welcome. Salute, flame motherfucking emojis, and toasts to all you heads tuned in right now. The dozens live, or dozen or so live. Make sure that if you're new to the show, or you're not subscribed over here to the Replicon page, make sure you do so. I am live over here. Shows are popping up over on my primary YouTube channel, but very sporadically and a couple 3 days later than they air. So if you want to make sure you catching the freshness and that fresh shit, make sure you subbed over here for Replicon for at least the next 2 weeks. But you stick around here anyway, man. They got tons of fresh content. And of course, Replicon Radio, my homies Freaky P, Dead Body Man, Rue, and One Eye. It's one of my favorite radio teams in the country. And I listen to Sway in the Morning and The Breakfast Club. Like I've said before, Replicon Radio, they got that good dick. If I'm not mistaken, Dead Body Man, his t-shirt at Astronomicon actually said that on the back. It did. It said, we got that good dick on it. Well, I'm down with Replicon. You know what the fuck it is. It's Wednesday. You know I normally don't do shows on Wednesday. But, like I said, I had some leftover shit. And then some news, strangely enough, did fucking happen today. And I gotta say, we were talking about it on the show. We were excited about it over here at the Beard. The highly anticipated second annual Astronomicon dates got announced tonight during the Ashtrays and Action Figures broadcast. I like the tagline, Astronomicon, a truly out-of-this-world experience. This next one, in about 350 days, about 11 months and 2 weeks from now, February 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2019. Same Bat Hotel, Wyndham Gardens, Sterling Heights, 34911 Van Dyke, Sterling Heights, Michigan. Shit's gonna be fire. I don't know when tickets are going made available, none of that shit, but you can get your rooms. I guess there are some problems. People aren't being able to book online yet. I heard if you call, you can book. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to try to book early in the morning online. If it doesn't work, I'm going to get them on the phone. Like I said, get your shit this week. Something tells me these rooms aren't going to last too long. It's a very big hotel. So I don't think they're sold out already. I think there's just some sort of funky Cole Medina going on with the fucking deal. The website or whatever. Those rooms not be announced. But the shit's gonna be heat. If you didn't know, we'll see what happens. But I can pretty much guarantee it's going to be doper than this year. And this year was about as dope as anybody figured it could be. So I don't even know what to say. I mean, shit. I'll say it again. Astronomicon 2, a truly out-of-this-world experience. February 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2019. You ain't got long to plan? Maybe. No, that's not true. You got plenty of fucking time to plan. 11 months, 2 weeks from now. Not even. Let's see. Yeah, 11, almost 2 weeks. 13 days. You got 11 months and 13 days. If that ain't enough time for you to save your pennies, save your nickels, shine your shoes, pack your bags, and make your way to Astronomicon, I don't know how much fucking time you need. I really don't. And maybe that amount of time doesn't exist. But what I do know is I better see you motherfuckers at this second annual Astronomicon. Of course, Chuck Reeves will be in attendance. Let's see. That's what I'm saying, man. They already announced and shit for almost a year from now. That's the way you do business. Don't make people have to travel on 12 days notice. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Do it like this. Announce things, get things locked down early. Don't pre-announce shit that's not true. And don't fucking wait till the last minute because y'all are fucked up. So that happened. That was dope as fuck. Ashtrays was actually a very good episode tonight. They did a lot of talking about pops. And merch. Astronomicon merch is currently available. If you go over to astronomicon.com/webstore, they got all the leftover tees, the subligated jerseys, the fucking glasses, the lanyards, which I got one. I got one. I love my Astronomicon lanyard. You can get the glasses. You can get all sorts of shit. And then over the next few weeks, what Twisted and Magic Ninja did was they bought a bunch of toys, a bunch of pops, a bunch of action figures and things. And then they had the guests at the con sign them. So I know they were talking about it tonight on Ashtrays. I heard they had maybe a couple 10 Kevin Nash pops that he signed. And all these pops are, certified, and they all have a special Astronomicon sticker on them, which is pretty fucking cool. But those will be going up in the Astronomicon web store at all. So here it is. You have Astronomicon that exists and takes place and is a thing, is an event. And at that event, toys and things get signed. And then for the rest of the year, Astronomicon as a company isn't necessarily just a convention company, but they are also a memorabilia dealer, which is fucking awesome, which is something I never thought of. I got to admit, that's a unique idea. To take your ability to get shit signed because you run a con, get specific shit signed, and then run a memorabilia sales company is amazing. Because now you're giving the people who either went to the con and maybe didn't have the money or the time to get whatever that item was that they wanted signed, or maybe someone who didn't go to the con. After the fact, now you can order those toys that you could have taken to the con and got signed yourself. And they come pre-signed and authenticated by Astronomicon, which at this point, with it being a one-year con, I mean, it's not going to have the prestige for a couple of years of certain cons, but they are well on their way to being one of the big boys. For fucking sure. We're seeing it now. I told you fucking people how real the hype is. They're acting like fiends about these hotel rooms. People were knocking down the doors at Magic Ninja, demanding to know what weekend the shit was going to be. But just like Michael said, he had to check on some other con dates and make sure he wasn't stepping on somebody's dick. Because the last thing you want to do is throw a con the same weekend as a con someplace else and try to compete for guests. It's not good business. It's not friendly. And it's dope the way they are doing shit. So hopefully the weather isn't as bad. But if they don't, fuck it. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I didn't leave the hotel anyway for the most part. Like, fuck it. Snowed in weekend with crazy shit going on and famous people. I'm into that life. Yo, if you got your room or you got your tickets, let me get some fucking flame emojis in the chat. I know nobody got tickets yet. I appreciate the 40 of you motherfuckers tuned in right now. I have to implore you, please. Things have been weird being on a new channel. I do see the same faces. I love the fact that my day 1 and day 0 heads out there follow me wherever I go. Shouts to anybody who caught that random Facebook video that I ended up in with the homeboy Justice Para. If you ain't familiar with the homie Jay Para's from Brooklyn, New York. Dope MC. Representing fucking Poet on Drugs. Make hip-hop savage again. And after that video, we had such a fun interaction. And I don't really get to talk to him too often. That might turn into something. But that's definitely going to be more me here, him in New York, us talking hip-hop shit and savagery. Because me and him are a couple of fucking savages. As y'all know. As y'all know, Chuck's a savage. You know I don't fuck around. But, real quick, something that was left over from last night, and I definitely cannot let it pass again. Yesterday was the 15-year anniversary of a disaster that took place here where I live in New England, more specifically in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and it involved concerts. Last night, February 20th, as you can see there, February 20th, 2003, West Warwick, Rhode Island at the Station nightclub during a headlining performance of the 80s metal band Great White, if I'm not mistaken. The band ignited illegal outdoor pyrotechnics inside the club. The club had insulation in there for soundproofing that was flammable as fuck. And when it caught fire, it would create this super dense, thick, toxic smoke that was like deadlier and worse for you than regular ass fire smoke. On top of that, the venue security was only letting people exit the club from one entrance. They all basically had to go out one entrance, even though there were 4 other exits in the club. A few of them were blocked, and at least one of them, security said, you can't come this way, this is for the fucking band only. 100 people died in that concert venue that night. Another 230 seriously injured people. Ironically enough, a local news crew was at the station that night to do a report on concert venue safety. So the entirety of the incident was caught on tape, and you can see it on YouTube. It's some scary shit. Because you see the pyro go off, and if you know this band Great White, they're one of these 80s hair metal bands, it's not uncommon for those guys to have pyro. Once it's clear that it's gone out of control and that the club is on fire, the guy from Great White says, oh, that's not good. And then they leave. And the rest of the fucking people are just standing around going, what are we supposed to do? One of the people who died that night was the MC, was the host of the show. Somebody from a local radio station here. Apparently he tried to salvage some equipment from the fire and was succumbed by the flames. But even that guy didn't make any announcements saying, look, we're having a fire. You need to exit out of your closest exit, even if it's this one over here that the band went through. Like, the club was over capacity. They had 2 different types of soundproofing that one ignited easier than the other, and the other was more toxic. The human crush that happened because there was only one primary available fucking exit killed a bunch of fucking people. This shit changed the way that shows and nightclub safety happened all over the globe. But definitely here in New England and definitely in Rhode Island. I always get questions about pyro, booking shows and can we do pyro? Can we get inside pyro? And it's like, hell no, you can't. This is where Station Nightclub fire happened. But most places now have made sure to enact certain safety precautions and state safety regulations to prevent what happened at the Station Nightclub from happening anywhere else. One of the first things I do as an MC and a host is I make sure that I know where all the available emergency exits are. And that's one of the first things I say at every show. If you've been to one of my live shows, then you've heard the Beard say, make sure you keep it aware of all the, around of your surroundings and all the exits around you. Safety first, then teamwork here. That's what I say. I repeat it every fucking show, and I'm serious about it. It's important that you are situationally aware. That's the other thing people had to learn. Because a lot of these people stood there and burned to death, essentially, thinking that this was all part of the show. Some of the people who got out with serious injuries said, I would have left had I known this wasn't part of the show. But no one indicated to us that this wasn't something that was supposed to happen. And I've been to shows. I've been to shows where some funky shit has happened, and you don't, like, very easily, they could just be like, oh, it's just part of the show. I mean, shit, when Owen Hart died, they could have played that off like it was just part of the show. At least for a little while. But I bring this up to memorialize the 100 concert goers who did lose their lives, and the 230 injured who are still alive to this day, and all the survivors of that fucking terrible night at a nightclub that was ran so shitty that not only was the band found liable in the deaths and injury of these over 300 people, but the club owners were found liable as well. Both of them, if I'm not mistaken, doing federal jail time for the deaths of these fucking people. So when you go to these clubs, remember, we doing what we can to keep you safe. We're doing what we can to keep you from being cooked. But you got to do your part too. Remain situationally aware. Like, ask somebody if you don't know where there's a fire exit. Like, for real. You don't want some shit to pop off and you to be confused about your fucking surroundings. That's why I like doing shows where I do shows, because most of these places I'm intimately familiar with. I know a lot of you heads aren't. So, keep your shit on a swivel. Don't burn to death. And remember the fucking Station nightclub. You know, not only the things they did wrong, but the things we learned to do right. Like, the shit is real. Like, I wasn't even living here in Rhode Island at the time. I think I was in San Diego. You know what? I was in San Diego when that shit happened. And I remember hearing about it. And then I remember when I got involved in the music situation, when I did a lot of live shows, when they would talk about safety and security, the station was always a point that people would bring up. It's like one of those fucking moments when it was like, well, fuck. We were doing things a certain way. Because all the clubs were guilty of shit. Like, the station did things like they chained a couple of the fire exits so people couldn't get in or out. But it wasn't designed. I mean, they didn't chain it to keep people locked in. They chained it so people couldn't sneak people in the door. Okay, now that shit don't happen. I mean, I'm sure even a place like the Palladium, to save staff sometimes, would probably have done, did that. But now, if you go to the Palladium, every fucking fire exit has a security guard standing by it to prevent people from coming in, but to allow people to leave. So, things like that, things that were industry standard on a small level, chaining the other exits, just the use of indoor pyro, which was bound to go away anyway. You can't smoke cigarettes inside anymore. So why should you be allowed? I mean, you ever been to a WWE show? You ever been to a live show, a house show? That fucking pyro is smoke, like sulfur smoke. And even in a huge place like a stadium, it's a lot of smoke. It's really fucking bad for people. So imagine doing that on stage in some little club, a couple hundred people. I mean, the station, the night that the fire happened, was at a capacity crowd of like 480 something. But the maximum capacity for the club was only 404. So there were a lot of things that happened that could have changed the outcome, but there has not been a major nightclub fire or situation since then. At least not in this country. If somebody knows something other than that, let me know. Because I don't think there's been a situation like this before. Or since then, rather. I know there were ones before. Shit, I was in Bali and the fucking terrorists blew up a club. But you can't do nothing about that. That ain't the show's fault. Like, what's fucking show security gonna do if you got ISIS in a bomb vest? You can't really. But like, I was in Bali. They blew up a club that was like, had mad Marines in it. Fucking terrible fucking shit. Situational awareness. It's important. Don't fuck your shit up. Alright? Do not fuck your shit up. Be situationally aware. I'm trying to think. There's been some fucked up shit. When I was in Colombia, they shot up a restaurant. But it was one of the places we were like pre-told, don't go there. When you're in the military and you go somewhere foreign, you get what's called like a port brief. And somebody comes and they have like some slides and shit that everybody in the military has about where you're going. So when we went to Colombia, we went to Cartagena, which is called the walled city, and we went through port brief, and port brief said, do not venture outside the wall unless you're with like one of these approved tour groups, that were, going out beyond the wall for various reasons. But do not venture outside the wall by yourself because they'll fucking kidnap you and sell you on the black market. You ever seen Proof of Life? You ever seen Proof of Life, dog? Fuck out of here. I'm not a fucking hostage. I'm far too Caucasian to be a hostage. So there was that. Another interesting port brief was I was in Ecuador, Manta, Ecuador, during an event called the Copa Americana. In South America, every year, there's a huge soccer tournament that's just the South American countries in it playing soccer. It's like World Cup, but it's just South America. And it's called the Copa Americana. And that shit is like the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NBA Finals, New Year's, Chinese New Year's, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, and The Purge all rolled into fucking one. And we go to Port Brief and shit. And Port Brief is like, yo, we're from America. We don't watch hockey. We don't watch soccer. Excuse me. Like, we really don't watch soccer. So understand that this thing that's going on is a much bigger deal to these people than it would be to you. So we're suggesting and we're saying to you, do not go to the Copa. Do not go to the games. Do not go to like a street vendor and buy a jersey because you think it looks dope and you like the color and wear it. Like, don't do any of that. Okay. And then obviously a couple of fucking retards do. And some dude come back to the boat half dead. And what happened, dog? I bought the fucking jersey or something. And I was walking by a place and some dudes in some other jerseys saw me and beat the fuck out of me. Well, that's what happens, man. You got warned. You got warned, dog. That Bali bombing, people weren't supposed to be in that bar either. There are places where it's like, there's American sections of town, I guess you could, or British controlled sections of town. Indonesia, we used to go to like the British controlled sections of Malaysia. So, fuck. What was the name of that spot? I ate so much fish and chips in Malaysia. Sitting in a fucking stupid-ass pub-style restaurant thing. Eating fish and chips with mad vinegar on her. But, yo, that's why I'm situationally aware. Like, when you go to places where you're actually in a position where you might get hurt if you don't keep your head on a swivel, you get complacent. And that leads to shit like what happened at the station. I digress. I'm sorry, I went off on I went off on a sea story tangent. I might just start doing sea stories. Should I just do a series of videos that are just me telling sea stories? And I can maybe start at the beginning and just do whatever. Give me some flame emojis if you'd like that idea. I got sea stories upon sea stories. I've been to all sorts of crazy fucking places. I've done all sorts of crazy shit. I've said some ridiculous shit to people. I remember walking around Victoria, Canada with fake dog shit. And being like, hey, man, you know, this is a fantastic restaurant. This would be great. If it didn't have dog shit all over it, I would throw the shit into the restaurant. Or my homeboy Rashot lighting a fucking, or trying to light a homeless person on fire while we were there. Or the fucking, the BO chick. The chick whose BO was terrible. And then we found out she lived in a house making midget guitars, and she didn't have running water. I got sea stories, dog, and most of these got cosigns. Like Asia, I got some stories about Asia, the snake temple, Machu Picchu in Peru. Fucking go into Manuel Noriega's house. You can still go. If you don't know who Manuel Noriega is, you're going to have to Google him. But in the 80s, there was a dude named Manuel Noriega who was the El Presidente. In Panama, they had a job called El Presidente for life. And fucking Manuel Noriega was El Presidente for life thanks to the U.S. government. And then he was selling cocaine. And I don't mean a 40-piece. I mean, he was the Don Mega of Cocaineville for that side of South America. And then at one point, he said, fuck it. And he took all the money that was in all the banks. All the money in all the banks. He's like, oh, I'm El Presidente for life. I need this. And all of a sudden, anybody who had money, which was a bunch of drug dealers, who had their money in banks in South America and Peru, he got all them shits. But fucking U.S. military drove tanks into his castle, into his fucking mansion, punched giant holes in the wall, went and got his ass, extradited him, brought him back to this country. But that house is still there. It's surrounded by a fence and it's all overgrown and shit. But you can still see this fucking mansion, this white mansion style house out in the middle of no place in Panama in the jungle. And it's got a fucking tank hole inside. Oh, what's that hole from? Oh, full disclosure, the U.S. military raided this property. I have to tell you that before you rent it. All right. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe I'll do that. I got some shit. I got some, those will all just be pre-records. Maybe. I don't know. I could do those live, I suppose. I don't see why. But yeah, just starting at the beginning and not trying to fit it into an hour. Just being like, yo, I'm just going to do this for an hour, and wherever I leave off, I leave off. And then do it as a separate series of videos. And have it be called The Beard's Voyage. I don't know, I think that might be a good idea. I should write that down. Give me a second. What time is it? It's midnight. We're revving up good here. So, what's next? I'm gonna let y'all pick. I got like 2 things to talk about that I would call pressing. I'm still waiting and hoping somebody contacts me in regards to Team Backpack shit. I'll put that back out there. So if anybody knows what's going on with the Team Backpack World Underground situation, I don't give a fuck if it's Dev or Armani. If Dev or Armani want to turn on the other, hit me up, bro. You know what the fuck I'm about. Hit me up. I just want the truth. And you know damn well I'll fucking call you on it if I hear otherwise. So Dev the Indian dude, or fucking Armani the nerd that lives in the jungle now. Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. I want to know what's cracking. MK. If anybody knows MK, Monkey King, y'all should tweet at him and be like, yo, what happened to Team Backpack? Because I bet you he knows. Speaking of Twitter, I called Black China a whore, so I got a 7-day ban. I didn't know Twitter worked like that. I didn't know you could get fucked up off Twitter, but I did, so don't try hitting me up on Twitter. I mean, you can tag me and stuff. I ain't got no beef with that. But we got the Gmo video that I kind of want to watch. I want to talk about. It's good. You know, we'll do that. And then we'll get to that last thing. That full DCGCon announcement. Well, first things first about the Gmo thing. Today's video, Gmo Ski, it got released about 11 o'clock this morning, East Coast time. Or was it 2? I don't know. It was middle of the day. It's called Final Boss 2. And it is off the upcoming 8-Bit Filth EP. Not just the video went up today, but also the pre-orders did over on Twisted Shop. The album is available. It's dropping like we discussed here, say about 2 weeks ago. March 30th, 2018. Bundles there. You can get the bundle one, which is just the CD. That shit's $8.88. They keeping it budgetary for the ninjas. All right, for 20 bucks, you get a CD and you get that dope ass USB preloaded with the album. I love that fucking. I love those 8-bit graphics, man. Those 8-bit block graphics are real fucking hot right now. Bundle 3. You can get that 8-Bit Filth CD and a Super Gmo Ski 3 t-shirt, which I love that fucking design. Or 4, you get all the things I mentioned in 3, as well as the very, very special 8-Bit Filth EP. Gmo there as a bad guy, I would assume. I mean, that's how he's portrayed in this video. But if you saw it, I know a lot of you did. Bear with us. But there's a bunch of dope shit I'd like to point out. The video is pretty simple, but it's dope in the way it was executed. He must have gone off on Amazon buying all sorts of crazy props and shit, because he had masks from Zelda. He had the costumes from Pokemon. He had the costumes from fucking Mortal Kombat. He got the Bowser mask. Shit's insanity. The Halo shit. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. But we're going to get started. And it starts off with like a classic video game cutscene, but given that fucking filth twist. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what are you doing around here, you little faggot? Oh, you looking for the princess?
They must love him continuing to say faggot. I know that's a marketing issue.
I'm the final boss that you
it's I love the look of the projector with the game shit behind him. That dope ass Mario Run the Jewels shirt. I don't even know where he got that. Yo, Gmo, holler at me. Where did you get that fucking Mario Run the Jewels shit? Of course, the hat has fucking evolved into a pointy hat. He got Majora's Mask. He got the Master Sword. He got the sword from Kingdom Hearts. Like this, it's perfect for him. The whole concept, everything is perfect for Gmo, given his video game nerd background. The way the clips correspond with things he does and the shit that he says, fire as fuck. they got one other person in the video with them, and that's just whoever the fuck's playing Princess Peach. Look, he got the fucking Bowser mask, the fucking Halo gun.
Well, I was born to beat your ass on expert. Captain Falcon drove through my hood. I let the
and yeah, some of the references are mad obscure for video game shit and old school as fuck.
Hollow tips hot, I'll show you what the heat do. Your head's on fire, now you looking like Sweet Tooth.
PS1 fucking Twisted Metal reference. If you were at the con, you saw a lot of these costumes on him. He did one day as Team Rocket, he did one day as Scorpion, and he did one day as the dude from Kingdom Hearts. That shit cracks me the fuck up. Pac-Man got a divorce when I bagged his bitch, and that's her house, so that nigga had to dip. I'm a pervert, master. It's crazy how like fitting all these lyrics are to both his style and the concept of the EP. Like he got the Mega Man gun and the Golden Gun. How you gonna order a Golden Gun? Well, actually, I think he made that shit. I think it showed up on his Instagram, but like this whole thing screams Gmo style because it's mad do-it-yourself, and I bet you he spent the whole fucking budget on these toys, or whatever of the budget he spent, because that's the game. The game is you get somebody to give you a chunk of money in the budget for a video, and then you make that video for as cheap as you can, and you pocket the difference. That's what I would do. I really love this fucking song. I can't wait for the EP, March 30th. It's insanity how good it is. And then motherfuckers getting mad because here he goes once again smashing a fucking another GameCube. Cop them pre-orders. I dig the whole shit. Like start to finish, I dig the whole shit. I love the way he's listed as one of the directors because that's purely him. Like, that's purely him. The use of the projector and then cutting those actual scenes in, done to, like, fantastic effect. I can't gush enough. Gmo left for tour today. Make sure you go see him if he comes around with Seth's crew. And make sure you cop in that fucking 8-bit filth. Because you got to remember, this 8-bit filth shit was written and recorded after he finished Charlie and the Filth Factory, which is coming out later. So you're actually getting newer raps earlier from him. Go cop them joints. Put some food on this man's table. I think it's fucking going to be heat rocks. I dig the song a lot. Like the hook. The hook makes complete sense from a video game nerd perspective as well as a rap perspective. You know, the whole idea of being the final boss and being the hardest and all that stuff. Like, all that stuff. So, let's see. Got like one more thing to talk about. And then I'll let y'all slide. I do appreciate you tuning in. Please, I say it time and time again. Subscribe. Subscribe and hit that notification icon. This way, you don't miss the live shows over here, nor do you miss the uploads on the other channel, and then whatever other shit I go ahead and shove over there. You know, because it's just haphazard as fuck for the most part. But, the last piece of news, I guess you could call it today, was the announcement of the entirety of the DCGCon show lineup. I want to pull this up so I can read it properly. Because not only did we get a flyer, but we got an absolutely fucking bullshit-filled status on every one of ICP's social medias, written by the one and only fucking hot air hype man, Kevin Gill. And we're going to fucking critique that more so than this. So, During the course of DCGCon, 3 days, coming up in May, 11th through the 13th, Denver, Colorado, you're going to get 2 concerts. 2 nights full of concerts. We know that one of them was going to be Shags, headlining with some people. And then we knew the second night was going to be ICP, headlining with some people. Both those concerts are going down in the hotel, in whatever you would call it, the convention room, the conference room, the same place where we did panels and the after party at Astronomicon. And when I read that, I said that this was going to be no Fago. And that's what happened. So that's kind of where I want to start, because Chuck called it is in full effect here, because I knew, I mean, there's no way you can do Fago in a carpeted ass fucking place like a hotel lobby. We did the VIP party. You can stage dive, apparently. That's not a problem because Gmo did it. But I wouldn't have wanted to spray soda all over that room with the carpet. I mean, these are fairly nice places. So you really can't go spilling hundreds and hundreds of gallons of soda all over the motherfucking place. And even the walls are carpeted. You know, these are places where nice things happen. So they don't really want you fucking stinking up the place with diet soda. But besides the no Fago announcement, which we're going to get to the other part of that announcement, we got the openers. Now, props to Psychopathic Records for booking Scum. Now, he runs Denver. That's his scene. Him and BBS doing big things in that fucking city. So, of course, when DCGCon came to his city, they had to have reached out to him. I'm glad they did. So you got Scum. You got JPK. Love that dude. Was texting with him today. All right. They picked him up. Great pickup. Supporter of this underground shit. All right. Same thing with Suicide. He not only went to the march, but he also participated in the abortion of an after party that occurred, from what I understand. Big shouts for them picking up DJ Carlito. I'm glad he got the job as one of the DJs that weekend. And I'm glad his dad, Rudy, also got secured a hosting position on one of the nights in Denver, securing his attendance there. I know his missing of Juggalo Day weekend, for whatever reason, was the source of some speculation. And I really didn't want to participate in that. I mean, I did, but I didn't want to. Now, there were obviously some surprises. I'm not talking about Shags. I'm not talking about ICP. I'm not talking about Light, Ouija, Hoodoo. Those are all guys we knew. Okay, we got no ABK on this flyer or part of this event yet. But according to a comment I saw left by Kevin Gill on the ICP thread about this event, apparently there's going to be a pre-party, and that's when they're going to give ABK his chance to shine. No words yet on what public bathroom the ABK DCGCon pre-party will be taking place at. But what we do know is that they reached out, they got some opening acts, one of them being MC Lars. If you're not familiar with Lars, I'm not fucking surprised. Lars is what you call a nerdcore rapper. Apparently, he started calling his shit Lit Hop. I don't know why, but he's like a nerd guy. He does a lot of conventions. I know he does the shows up here in Boston when PAX is in town. He, he's like a hipster. He's like a nerdy hipster guy. Back in December, it was reported that MC Lars was going to be starting his next YouTube series, and it was going to be his historical look at ICP. Now, knowing what I know about Lars, I got to look at this in terms of, is he doing this because he loves ICP, or is he doing this because he's a hipster and he thinks it's funny? And what I came to believe and find out was that it was probably the later, that he's just a hipster and he just thinks that this whole Juggalo thing is kind of fucking funny, and that's why he was doing it. I'm sure that's why he got pulled, but that's kind of surprising because, like I said, he's a nerd. He's not really, he's never popped up on Juggalo radar before for a fucking reason. One of them being him trying to keep it that way. So God knows why he accepted whatever. Who knows what amount of money they threw at him. Speaking of throwing money at people, Froggy Fresh and Moneymaker Mike, aka Krispy Kreme and his retarded little friend, last seen on stage at the gathering of the Juggalos. They're going to be out there. They're going to be doing whatever the fuck it is that they do. All right. I've gone through this before with you guys. You know how I feel about Krispy Kreme. The idea that someone who's not going up there with an actual musical product, but is going up there as an act, as some sort of a fucking, hey, look at me. Like, no, it's not what I consider to be underground, but whatever. And then the most surprising, a fucking Black Sabbath cover band. Now, yes, they put an interesting spin on shit, and yes, I understand and enjoy the music of Black Sabbath. But at base, man, what you get there is a Black Sabbath cover band that dresses up like McDonald's characters. So, once again, another series of concerts comes out from a certain place. And as much as they want us to take them seriously as musicians and to take them seriously as like a record label, they keep putting themselves next to people and booking people and putting certain, like, why the fuck is Scum opening for fucking Froggy Fresh or Max Sabbath? I don't understand. Like, with the years and work Scum's put in, especially in Denver, why the fuck is his logo not up there? Why is his logo not up there? Why am I looking at Froggy Fresh and Moneymaker Mike instead of JPK's logo? Why the, if you want to, I have no problem if you really want to put Froggy Fresh in his shit. But regardless of what I'm about to read to you says, Froggy Fresh is not a juggalo. He's not more of a juggalo than JPK or Scum or Suicide. So why is it that he's being booked over these guys that fucking have given Psychopathic Records years and years and years and years and years of support because they're fucking hot on the internet? What the fuck is going, why is this being allowed to happen? I know for a fucking fact a lot of people are saying it needs this, it needs that. And you're right, it does. It needs more underground. It needs some BBS. It needs some Zool. But in order to do that, you got to kick off the dumb shit. You got to get rid of Froggy Fresh. I'm not even saying Max Sabbath is dumb, but I just don't think it fits what, for the other than that, is a hip-hop show. Everything else on that bill is a hip-hop show. And then literally smack dab in the fucking middle of it, you're going to put a Black Sabbath cover band? That's what you're going to do. There's nothing but hip-hop on that bill. Who's, like, KG, they probably got him booking this shit too, because he definitely read this bullshit I'm about to read you, and we're going to pick this shit apart, because fuck him for trying to lie to people. 9 hours ago on ICP's official Facebook page, and I think it went out on the other social medias as well, Dark Carnival Game Con, full lineup of live performances and more. A throwback to the original indoor gathering style. Well, okay, the original indoor gathering style also included tear gas and mad police. So let's hope we don't go back that far. Juggalos, it's an exciting time to be on the planet Earth. I like the intentional, he intentionally misspelled Earth as Earth with an F. I like that. But it's URF. With the DCGCon coming to Denver May 11th and 13th, and I'm about to break it down on the incredible array of performers that will be gracing the stage. 3 days of nonstop gaming and concerts, Juggalo style. What is Juggalo style? Hosting the main stage will be a man who is as legendary for his parties as his charity work, as his in-ring action, as his radio show hosting abilities. The one and only legendary, not Chuck Reeves, Rude Boy, will be in effect and blessing the mic with his electrifying Southwest speaking. What the fuck is Southwest speaking? Plus your boy Kevin Gill, KG from JCW and the Kevin Gill Show and the Juggalo Show will be hosting a night on the main stage as well and delivering his unique brand of improvisational family feelings to get you hype. What in the fuck does that mean? Our Southwest homie, whose hair is as long and as flowing as his record collection, DJ Carlito, always has the right record for the right mood, which is not correct, but whatever. And his diverse DJ sets always keep the party moving. From the steps of the Lincoln Memorial to the cozy, breezy nights of Las Vegas to the DCGCon, Carlito got you covered and smothered. MC Lars is a lit hop sensation for nearly 2 decades. So yeah, 20 years he's been in nerdcore. And a down-ass juggalo. No, never before. I've never in my life heard of that. So I don't know how you can be down for 20 years and never be seen at a show or ever have met these dudes or ever have a picture or any juggalos know you. So he's not. Okay, like I said, he's a hipster and his interest in ICP is purely ironic and hipsterish in nature. Yeah, whatever. Check out his YouTube series on the 6 Jokers cards, which I'm sure they love because it's somebody sucking their dick who's not on their payroll. Suicide, we talked about him. I got mad love for Suicide. He's been putting it down for juggalos in Florida for a long ass time. Props to him. JPK, same fucking deal. Give that boy some shine. I've been trying to give him some shine. He got invited to some shows last year. Unfortunately, we couldn't work out getting him there, but I love JPK. Anybody who fucks with me knows I fuck with JPK. Scum, LSP, of course I fuck with the snuff wagon. Fuck out of here. What show do you think this is? Now here we go. Froggy Fresh and Moneymaker Mike, a.k.a. Krispy Kreme, are internet sensations who may not have known it from Jump Street, but their scrub-style lyrics and lifestyle have endeared them to the Juggalo community, and following a legendary performance at the Gathering of the Juggalos, Froggy Fresh was made as a Juggalo legend. Okay, I thought we weren't a gang. The phrase made in this context has to do with the mob. KG, you're fucking up, fam. You're fucking up. Somebody needs to make you dead. I'm sick and tired of you, man. You can't sell these kids this fucking retard. Why don't you put in this little blurb how the personality of Froggy Fresh is not this dude's serious music. This dude actually has serious music. You could get him. I have no problem with that if he wanted to come out and do his actual music. But coming out there and doing, I'm the baddest of them all. And because you think juggalos like that retarded shit, you're missing the joke, fam. I seriously can't wait to hear how much money you're paying him this time. Because I know whatever the fuck you gave him for the Gathering was the most money he had ever seen in one place. Notoriously overpaying for stupid shit. And then Max Sabbath. I've talked about Max Sabbath on this show before. I like Max Sabbath. The Cat Burglar, fucking Ronald McDonald dude. It's funny to me, but it's all gimmick. And then your standard lineup of dudes. But this is what I want to talk about. The ICP Dark Carnival show will feature, for the very first time, a Faygo-free experience. That's where I get confused. I know KG ain't been down nearly as long as they'd like you to believe. I know that KG definitely ain't been down as long as me. But anybody out there should know that they just did no Faygo at the Carnival of Carnage show back in September. And that was supposed to be a unique experience. And for $250, it fucking should have been. But apparently it's not. Because you're going to get no Faygo again. But let us not forget the first time I saw them without Faygo, which was at New Year's Ninjas in Worcester, Massachusetts. So the idea that they're trying to sell you on this as being some sort of, ooh, for the first time and only time, no Faygo. You're kind of being dumb. And Chuck kind of called this one. We can't, I mean, I'm not supporting the shit. Like, until you pay Scum, JPK, and Suicide, and you don't pay Max Sabbath and Froggy Fresh, like, there's no reason to pay Max. What in the fuck does Max Sabbath and Froggy Fresh add to this? You're paying them money to come. You're giving them money. And usually when you give somebody money, It's with the idea that that's going to draw in people. No one's going to come out for either one of those people to your shit. And since you've pretty much, you're marketing it to juggalos. It says juggalo style on the flyer. Everything that, all the marketing for this says for juggalos, by juggalos. Then why is it you're paying acts that aren't juggalos? Acts that didn't march. Max Sabbath didn't fucking march, neither did Froggy Fresh. So why is it that they're making money off juggalos when JPK, Suicide, and Scum, guys who supported the march, can't even get no fucking gas money from Psychopathic? It's fucking ridiculous. Take however much money you're paying Max Sabbath and Froggy Fresh. Cancel them. Give that money to Scum, JPK, Suicide, and Carlito. Your attendance will not change. The attendance of these concerts, the attendance of your con will not change. But that ain't what this is about. This is about, let's see what else we can sell them. Let's see what other dumb shit. Like, wait till you see the guy dressed as the Foot. I can't wait for Little Toenail. Like, that's the main reason I'm mad I'm not going to Slamfest, is I want to see if this Little Toenail thing's a real deal. Y'all are about to get told that a dude in a Foot costume is the hot new Nixon. That's not a guess. Like, that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be, oh, this is the dude. This is that dude. All right, yeah, there was also no Fago at last year's DCGCon. Somebody go check Kevin Gill. Go to the ICP Facebook page. Tell him that the Beard says he's a dumb shit. Yo, for real. And like, you know they paid Ritz to come to Juggalo Day. And you know they paid Green Jelly. Now, you don't pay Ritz, you don't pay Green Jelly. You give that money to people like Donnie Menace, who opened the show locally and does way more work for them during the course of a year to keep their scene alive in Vegas than fucking Green Jelly ever did or fucking Ritz ever did. And your attendance doesn't change. They want to complain about, well, we lose money all the time. It's because you have your audience. You've decided that the only people that you give a fuck about coming to your shit are people who identify as juggalos and followers of you specifically as artist. Not underground, but you specifically as artists. That's what you've decided your target demographic is. You're not trying to expand that at all. So what are you doing? You're paying people who, for whatever fucking reason, came up on your radar and that may have some fucking hits on YouTube as a joke. How did we get here? I don't know. But we fucking here and we got to deal with it. So do what you want about DCGCon. I'd really love to be in Denver that weekend. But, yo, for real. My thing is like, there's no need to bring in rando internet fucking goof for your shit. It's not going to change your fucking attendance. Like, you bring in someone bigger than yourselves and then you open for them if you really want to increase your attendance. But this is about y'all. This is about Psychopathic. So the idea that they have to give anybody else money, besides the people that support them all year, is fucking disrespectful, yo. Like, it's disrespectful as fuck. If I got, yo, for real, if I got a call and they were like, yo, you want to come do this? Well, what's the deal? Well, you got to get yourself there. You got to pay your own way, pay your own shit, and we're not going to give you any money. I would have said, fuck yourselves. It's disrespectful. Because, like, I know Max Sabbath ain't coming out for free. And I know Froggy Fresh don't leave the house for free. So the idea that you're going to pay them, people who didn't march, people who didn't know about your fucking march, give a fuck about your march, give a fuck about juggalos. You're going to get two dudes that come out. They're coming out for paychecks. At this point, like, oh, yo, I get so mad. That's why my blood pressure's bad. That's why I started eating raw garlic cloves, which is exactly what I'm going to do as soon as we're done here, which is right now. Salute and flame emojis to everybody that stayed tuned in right here. The 36 of you still fucking around with me. The thousands destined to watch this in future days. Maybe I'm back tomorrow. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I give you a video game stream on Facebook tomorrow at some point. I do have other stuff that we could talk about, but I'm leaving it. My name is Chuck Reeves. I am the beleaguered beast host. I am sad for the fact that motherfuckers are paying motherfuckers. I like, you know, there's got to be a reason. Quit talking about, well, we lose money. Well, it's because you're some dumb shits. You're dumb as fuck. That's why. Like shit. But y'all, man, until whenever, man. My name's Chuck Reeves. I'm the East Coast Beast Host. I hope you all have a fine evening. Subscribe here. Subscribe to my main channel. Hit up all my fucking social medias. Merch is available. I didn't even talk about merch tonight. Nor did I talk about my sponsor. I apologize. Beardlove.com. God damn it. I have to say it. MyBeardLove.com/BeastHost. I don't have to say it because I have to say it. I have to say it because I feel motivated to do so. Look at how good the beard looks. Like, I can't even... I gotta leave you with that, man. MyBeardLove.com/BeastHost. 10% off your purchase. Don't miss out. Until the next time. Whether that be tomorrow, whether that be Friday, this weekend, next week. Tell your friends. To tell your friends. To tell your friends. The beard is spoken.